All right, we are going. We are live on the internet. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome locally here to the AI Salon. Um, Leah is in New York City at a shoot today, so she couldn't make the salon. So taking Leah's place is the lovely Bradley.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. We're doing this. If we seem a little discombobulated, it's because the technology was being technology, and we're all good now. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Um, so welcome if you're new here. The purpose of the AI Salon is to what this actually is like a support group for people trying to figure out this AI stuff. is what it's turned into. And I think it's appropriate. Exactly, exactly. Hi, Clay. And we've been around since last December. Lee and I were talking shortly after ChatGPT came out and realized that this was going to be a thing. It was going to be a big thing, and that wouldn't it be good to put together a group where you come together and talk about it and figure it out together? And that's what the salon is. And so we'll get into that. We'll talk a bit about what the salon is and the values and things like that. But how's your past 2 weeks been? What have you been working on?
It's been great. Been in Colorado watching the leaves turn, but AI wise,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's that got to do with anything?
What does anything have to do with anything?
You did those in Dali, the leaves?
Yes. So I watched the leaves turn in Dolly. No, so just setting up the AI Entrepreneurship Guild has been the last 2 weeks, and kind of identifying opportunities for, seeking opportunities in AI is really kind of what it's all about. So
yeah, and there's been a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if you've played with ChatGPT 4 today, but it was incredibly slow because they're doing rolling launches of new features, which are supposed to launch by today. So there's a bunch of new stuff. In fact, if you have the ChatGPT app on your phone and delete it and reinstall it, chances are decent that you'll have DALL-E inside ChatGPT on your phone, unless you're like Auburn and you're on the bad list. But I did that and got access to DALL-E there. I've also got it on the browser, which I'll demo in a bit. So I think that's what's going on there. I want to share with you. So I don't know, is Jane on the call? Jane, are you here? Is Jane here? Oh, Jane. I don't think so.
Hang on. Okay, I'm here. The mic was off. Sorry. Hi.
Hey. Oh, hey.
Hey. Hey.
So I want to give you a shout out. Oh wait, why are we getting? Wait, mute. Don't talk anymore. Whatever you had going on was not happy with the echo. Anyway, so a group of us organizers got together and we rewrote the why statement, like what's the salon about. And Jane took point on finalizing it, and we launched it. When did you launch it? 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like that?
3 days ago, something like that. Oh, now you want me to turn my mic on? Okay.
No.
Yeah, it was. I just posted it today. It's on LinkedIn now, so it's been updated on our LinkedIn page. It's like a pin post.
Yep. All right. Great. Awesome. So I'm going to read it because I think it's really good. So if you're wondering what this group's about, who are we? The AI Salon is a ragtag group of misfits, ne'er-do-wells, and miscreants who have gathered to explore the uncharted wilderness of generative AI. We are everyone from entrepreneurs to educators, from healthcare workers to creatives, and everyone in between. Why we're here? We are being called on an adventure. Just like the World Wide Web exploded onto the scene in the mid-90s, the launch of ChatGPT on November 30th, 2022 shook the world. We felt the rumble. We heeded the call and set out together to discover the source. How we explore. We band together online and in person to share our discoveries so that we might aid our fellow adventurers. In these gatherings, we geek out, explore, learn together, paving the way for innovative ideas and groundbreaking projects in the vast frontier that lies ahead. What we seek. Together we shape a vision and create a future that embraces the unknown and leads us to exponential experiences. Or exceptional. Or experiential, or whatever the hell I said. So Jane, thank you for writing that. It's really good. We also have a set of values that I think are really important. But the idea of being on an adventure is an important one, because as exciting as this stuff is, it's also sometimes really scary. And being on an adventure is something that you choose. This AI stuff is coming at us whether we want it or not. And so part of the idea here is let's get together and choose to be on the adventure and support one another and do everything we can. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to talk about the values, because I think this is a really important part of the group, and we've got cool pictures. So let's see. Da-da-da. All right, Bradley, you want to talk about the values of the salon?
Yeah, so first up, we have curiosity. We are eager to learn new things, ask questions, and experiment. Next up, we have generosity. So we are willing to share our knowledge, resources, and feedback with others, and to support each other's growth and development. There is so much to learn, we can't possibly keep up. Even if it's obvious to you, it might not be to the person next to you. Share as you learn. Exploration. We are excited to try new things, take risks, and embrace uncertainty and ambiguity. Act as if no one knows what they are doing, because no one knows what they are doing. Collaboration. We look for opportunities to work with others, to exchange ideas, and to create something greater than ourselves. Find a partner or a posse.
Posse.
Find a posse.
Posse. It's the French.
Yeah,
That's the French
yeah.
pronunciation. Yes.
Start a project. Start 10. We won't judge you. And who knows, you might make a friend or the next $1 billion venture.
We will judge how you pronounce posse.
Posse. Well, this is perfect for the next one. Oh, wait.
All right, what happened?
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Well, it's perfect setup for the next one. Inclusion of people who say passe, whatever. We actively seek out and value diverse perspectives and experiences, recognizing that our differences make us stronger. We create an environment where everyone feels seen, heard, and respected, and where everyone has an equal opportunity to contribute and succeed. And finally, empathy. We are mindful of the impact of our work on others, and we strive to create work that is respectful, inclusive, and meaningful. AI is one of the most transformative technological advances in humanity. Humans matter, take each other in, act from a place of compassion.
Yep. And that last one for me is really the most important, because I think everyone who's played with AI that kind of has that moment where you're just like, oh my God, this is like, nothing will be the same. You kind of have that moment. For me personally, and I think a lot of people I talk to, I oscillate wildly between I'm as excited as I've ever been and I'm as scared as I've ever been, and back and forth. And so, a lot of people right now are very afraid of this. They're very angry at it, right? And it's a natural kind of thing. So, so that one's really important. So that's who we are. One of my favorite things that we do here is meet each other and introduce ourselves. So, if you're online, do me a favor and raise your hand. It's like the third icon from the right on the bottom. Raise your hand. And what I would love for you to do is, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and tell us where you are on the AI journey. And I guess we'll start. We have a lot of people here in Denver. Do we want to start here in Denver? I think we should start here in Denver. You want to go first? Great. Can you turn on your mic and then?
I think I muted you.
No.
All right. Oh, so you have your speaker on. That's why there's an echo. Okay. So I'm Trevor. I'm in the architecture world. I'm a BIM specialist at the moment. I've used the image ChatGPT since it came out last year, and really excited to see where this group goes. This is only my second meeting, so still kind of new, but happy to be here.
You see, you're what specialist?
Building information modeling. So architecture, but just the modeling parts and none of the architecture stuff. If that makes sense.
Great. All right. You.
You want to go first? You want me to go? All right. Cool. My name is Cameron Zorgdreger. I live up in Erie, and I'm pretty new to the AI space. I got involved with it a bit earlier this summer. My background is in software development. I worked for a company where we actually place software developers on contract for 6 to 9 months. And so I've been trying to think about how to use AI to speed up a lot of our processes. And we've expanded into the engineering space, which I really know nothing about. So ChatGPT is my sales engineer best friend when I'm trying to figure out what a certain role does and how it could best help with our clients.
I am Victoria Ditoy. I just moved here to Colorado about 3 months ago. I am a designer developer for the last 22 years. I now work for a web design company here in Denver. I am their project manager, so I oversee everything. It takes me away from design and development, but now using AI is a game changer. It's happening. It's going to go forward. It's going to get bigger. I just wrote 10,000 words in 3 days for a website. So, and with pictures. So it's just going to explode. Yeah, that's me.
Great.
Hi, I'm Auburn. I'm in Colorado. I'm a therapist, and I love ChatGPT because it's the companion that you can never exhaust. Like any idea I have at 3 in the morning, it's not just like shut the fuck up. So, and I love it for again, all the endless possibilities. It's like content creation, so many things, and I'm still relatively new to all the AI, and happy to be here. Yeah.
Hey everyone, Greg here in Denver. Also, I have an content repurposing platform called Zealous, and we use AI for a number of different tasks inside of that. And been using OpenAI for like 3 years, I guess, through the API, and ChatGPT since it's been out, and a bunch of other things as well.
We've started like a million companies, right?
This is my 3rd venture and 15 bootstrapped. Yeah.
It's like gotta get in front of the computer. Yeah, so my name is Clay. I'm a nomad, adventurer, real estate investor. I have a short-term rental management company. I use AI from everything from creating social media posts to creating Google Sheet formulas to building out spaces in my task management software, and sometimes just to geek out on various stuff. So I'm kind of a tech nerd, and but yeah, so that's my 30-second elevator speech. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So I think I'm back. I don't know if Jim Ross is here. We'll find out when we do intros, but you should, your name's Clay, right?
Yeah.
There's a guy named Jim Ross who's in here. He does, oh, you turned my mic off. Wait, how did you turn my mic off? Which mic did you?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Jim Ross does self-storage, real estate management stuff, and he's been doing a ton of AI, and he just got a weekly or a monthly magazine column and some local things. So he's been talking about AI, and it's like yielding all sorts of really good stuff for him. So he'd be a good guy for you to talk to. All right, so that's the Denver crew. Let's meet some folks online. So online, if you go longer than 60 seconds, Ken will smack you back. He's good at that. So keep it tight, but love to meet you. Ken, take it away.
Okay, first up we have Claire Jacobs.
I am obviously a technology guru. Any questions you have, just come to me. I'm part of the passe. And
I think this is gonna stick.
I want shirts.
I'm a psychologist in San Antonio, Texas, and very new to all of this, obviously, but enjoying it very much and eager to learn.
Okay, great to have you here, Claire. Appreciate it. Up next, Ross Parent. You're up.
I'm Ross.
There you go,
I'm Ross Parent, and I'm actually charging my EV at a charging station down by Columbine High School at this moment. I'm here because Ken Rouse was one of my riders as an Uber driver about a month ago. So Ken, I'm glad to see that you're online. I'm glad that we connected, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things I'd like to do with AI, but right now I'm wondering if I might be able to help promote one of my my musical talents, a friend of mine who's trying to get somewhere, and if I might be able to use AI to help promote him. So that's kind of the direction I'm going right now, among other things. Anyway, that's
Awesome.
Ross Parent. Yep.
Good to have you here, Ross. Appreciate it.
Yeah, very good to be here. Thank you.
All right. Up next, we have Jim Sharp.
Hi, I'm Jim Sharp, and we lived in Crested Butte for 25 years, and I'm in Black Forest now. I come from the big data analytical pipeline world, been doing that for a couple decades, caught the bug of this generative stuff earlier this year, and have just been going nuts. Use it for my personal life, use it for my business, use it for work stuff. But my main focus has been in emergent capabilities, things like reasoning capabilities, mind maps, tree of thought, those kinds of things.
Very cool. Good to have you here, Jim. Appreciate it. Dan R., you're up next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Ritchie. I'm a founding member of the Brainwave Collective, which is a member-owned community for people who want to learn, grow, and build with AI products and solutions. We're working on bringing people in, technologists and non-technologists who want to go even deeper with all these things and create things with AI and machine learning. I've been a member here for, I don't know, a few months I've been attending. I'm actually in Denver, and I will be joining everyone for a happy hour after this.
Awesome. Oh, that's
good to have you back, Ann. All right. Next, we have Harold.
Yeah, I think aren't I giving a pretty detailed introduction to myself?
you are, but we'll meet you now too.
Okay, well, hey, my name's Harrod. I'm using my internet moniker because I'm an international spy, but I am a huge AI user. I come from a programming world, so I, have made a lot of different uses of LLMs, and then, fell in love with the art side of things. Recently, just became a full-time artist. So pretty much AI intertwines with every single facet of my life at this point, and I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, and we'll
All right.
be hearing Harold's story in a bit.
Appreciate that. Ann Murphy, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ann, and I have Kyle Shannon to blame for all of the following, which is I started paying attention to ChatGPT a little bit, and then I found Kyle, and I was like, oh my God, I guess ChatGPT is fun. And that, Kyle, was, remember when you only had just ChatGPT on your screen? You didn't have any. So I'm from back in the day, like a few weeks ago. So since I met Kyle, so my domain expertise is in nonprofit fundraising. So I was like, you know what? I know how to use ChatGPT. I'm going to teach other people how to do it, just like we're supposed to. So I taught now 1,500 frontline fundraisers for free how to use ChatGPT. And then I joined a community of practice with 5 other people who are oriented toward using AI for social justice purposes, as well as, building our own wealth so that we can give it back. The workshops and stuff that we've developed, I'm hell bent on creating a certification for those. and also selling the curriculum to like e-campuses to get them in the hands of non-traditional learners, training the trainers. So if anyone wants to learn how to train train people with LLMs, come talk to me. And the 5 people who I linked arms with and I are launching a company on 11/11. Kyle, I have no idea how all of this happened. It went from 0 to 60, and now this is what I do. I do AI all day, every day. So
I have a feeling you have something to do with it, but yeah, you're doing amazing stuff. So great to have you here.
It's pretty cool.
All right, thanks, Ann. Next, we have Rhonda Phillips.
Well, hello there. I'm Rhonda Phillips, and I'm on the western slope of Colorado, so clear on the other side from where you guys are. And I've been following Kyle on TikTok for quite a while now, and I do voiceover for a living. And so I have been looking into the voice synth and seeing kind of how it would work with my business, and if I should create an AI version of myself to sell, as well as myself. And I'm looking at ways to incorporate getting an assistant basically to help me do some chores that I don't really want to do myself. And I'm also doing a workshop with Kyle. We started last Wednesday, and we're doing it tomorrow night and the next night, real in-depth stuff about all that. So that's me.
The AI
All
launch
right.
pad. We're launching off a pad with the Passe.
Good to have you here, Rhonda. And next up, we have Peter Kaminsky.
Hi, all. I'm Peter Kaminsky. I'm in San Diego. I was born in Boulder, Colorado, though.
Wow.
I'm a technologist, entrepreneur. I like to help people work together and learn how to use technology better. AI reminds me a lot of the web wave, the internet wave, from like 92 to like 95 or something like that. And also the introduction of PCs back in the day. I remember teaching people, this is a computer, and they'd ask, so what do I use it for? So this is it's a super exciting time. A little bit like Ann, I'm joining together with 2 partners. We're going to be having an online academy for people learning AI and other things. And I'm happy to be with you all. Thanks.
Great.
All right, thanks, Peter. Next, we have Vicky Baptiste.
I'm gonna try here, Anne, because I've tried 3 times to get in touch with you and I haven't managed yet. So I'm still trying. I'm Vicky Baptiste. I am in Bloomington, Illinois, where I work for a very large insurance company. If you know, you know. I'm a language engineer. I've been working with all different kinds of AI, doing content creation. I have a small web design agency as well. And I also work with a fractional chief AI officer on his business. So I'm kind of like coming at it from all angles.
Wow.
And I'm also here to pick up whatever I can learn from everyone else. And can connect with Anne.
All right, thanks, Vicky. Next, we have Jean S. Jean S. Okay, we'll skip Jean and come back. Oh, she's trying. Let's give her a second.
Wow, Ken's being lenient.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll come back to Jean. Let's move on to Charles Brewer.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charlie Brewer. I'm in San Francisco. I'm a user experience designer and product manager. I design software platforms and apps, and I make them fit for purpose, easy to learn, easy to use. I've had some success in using AI tools to collate research and to also expand outlines into proposals. I'm very interested in how AI is now enabling rapid development of the deliverables of my trades, such as wireframes, screen designs, possibly even click-through prototypes. and envisionments, perhaps generating videos to demonstrate how something could be in the future with products and services and that sort of thing. So it's a wide open, just very excited to be here. I got my start with Kyle over 20 years ago, and I feel like we're starting over again. So it's very exciting days.
Really? I think it's closer to 30 years, dude.
Yes, I had hair back then.
All right, good to have you here. Let's try Monte Peace. You're up next.
Hi, I'm Monty. I work in healthcare. I have a tech background. I was around for the internet wave there in '92 with like Peter and Kyle, and I just started with AI and GPT. You know, fairly after when it came around, and I saw the potential. And as you see, it's growing exponentially. So I'm trying to keep up with it.
All right, good to have you here, Monty.
None of us can keep up with.
Next up, we have Jeff Gray.
Hello, I am Jeff Gray from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm an apparel guy. I've been in the clothing apparel business for a long time, and I'm working on building a startup that deals with AI and printing on physical products. And I've been working on a platform since probably March. And we're getting closer, but I'm hoping to have something to test within the next 2 weeks or so. So I'm crossing my fingers.
All right, good to have you back with us, Jeff.
Thank you.
Let's go with RJ up next.
Hi, I'm RJ. I'm up in northern central New Jersey, up in the hills here. And I joined this group last 2 weeks ago. It was really fun. And then I saw all your videos and like, wow, I had no idea you guys were so cool. So basically my interest in AI is been long going since I was a teenager. And most recently in May, when I found out about ChatGPT in particular on Meetup, I had my first conversation with it, and it was like really amazingly well responding to me. So at a really sophisticated topic. So I said, wow, this is something totally amazing and new. How can I use it for personal use and also help other people use it too? So that's basically what I've been doing. And I've been involved in weekly meetups too, helping total beginners get up to speed on ChatGPT and other AI tools. Thanks.
Kudos on that. That's great.
Thanks, RJ. Next up, Roger Scott.
Speaking of cool.
Hi, I'm Roger. I live up in Boulder, not too far from Denver. Occasionally make it down to the in-persons when traffic isn't too much of a nightmare doing that. I'm a retired software engineer. I sort of have two completely different interests in AI. As an engineer, I'm really interested in the deep, nerdy, technical gut stuff of it, but also through this group, I became interested in the generative art, total user in art side of it, which has been incredibly fun. And I've been with this group I guess at this point, pretty near the beginning, not like the first meeting, but pretty early on.
First or second. I mean, you were there very early.
And it's been fantastic to see the evolution of it. It's just kind of out of control how fast it's growing in all these days. But it's just always fascinating to hear so many different perspectives on this stuff, because again, it's changing so fast and no one really knows the answers. So the best way to learn about it is just to hear lots of different people's takes on it and just sort of try to integrate all that.
You're here.
All right, good to have you back, Roger. Kay Hudson, you're up next.
Hello, everybody. I am in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is by Minneapolis, if you know where that is. My background is in leading marketing and communications and external relations. So I work for currently the largest private company in the US, and I am on a one-person mission to get them going. And I mean, I know that they're taking a very cautious approach, but I'm on a mission to educate people about go play with it, get curious. So next week I'm showing a group of communicators like what is this stuff. So and I love this group. I love the curiosity, and I love that we're from some varied backgrounds and getting together to discuss this. And I'm glad also that it's there at 3 a.m. when I can't get it out of my head.
All right, thanks, Kay. CJ Fletcher, you're up. Or Jane, whichever one.
You're muted.
You're not.
muted.
I know. Okay. Yeah. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. CJ, graphic designer out of Aurora, based and working for the ARC, Jefferson County, and generative artist. Here to always push myself forward with the generative art that I do.
All right, thanks, CJ. Appreciate it. Jane, you want to go? No, okay. Eric Rowland, you have next.
Hey, happy to be here. So been working with unstructured data, mainly focused on marketing and legal. Recently, I've started contracting with a large bank, and I'm rebuilding a benefit consultant for employees so they can ask questions about benefits and working with a lot of PII data. So standing up open source large language models, fine-tuning them to actually be able to provide decent answers. And just doing all kinds of stuff. Glad to be here.
Welcome, Eric.
Good to have you back, Eric. And Greg Crandall, you're up.
Hi, everyone. And this is my wife, Joa, pronouncing that before anybody tries to else butcher it like I do. But yeah, where she got me into this. She's more into it. And I'm take that back. I'm into it. I've been more into the cybersecurity, the Cisco large transport equipment to the large carriers and data transport, and really been getting into it, the AI stuff, and seeing where I can utilize that. So honestly, don't know it completely yet, but I plan to get there.
There are a lot of security holes to plug, so I think you have you have some work ahead of you. So fix that stuff.
We are in Houston, and like you said, my name is Joa, and I found Kyle on the Learning Lab, which I go by Mel on my TikTok. So once in a while, most of the time I'm just listening, being an irregular, just listening, because we're in the central time zone, so sometimes we're falling asleep to you. But I work in a very analytical.
Not out of boredom, by the way.
Yeah,
no, because Kyle can have that effect sometimes.
I work in a very analytical job for a healthcare company also, which I think is probably the same one that was mentioned earlier. And I also have a craft blog on the side. And so I've been fascinated with, I've had my craft blog for 5 years and have like 90,000 followers. And I'm interested in helping them use that for sublimation and the images, different ways that they can use it for their craft projects. And then also content creation for myself.
Fantastic.
For social media.
Welcome.
Great to have you both here. And we will wrap around back to Gene. Gene S., you're up.
Can't talk.
Still muted.
No.
Oh, no microphone. Okay. All right. No worries. Well, welcome, Gene. We appreciate you being with us.
All right, great. So let's let me share my screen again. So when was it? We launched last meeting, right? We launched Guild's last meeting. So last meeting we launched Guilds. We're going to get updates from the Guild leaders. We have got 5 Guilds right now, and the Guilds are little specialty communities that are organized within our Discord. So Ken, can you drop an invite to the Discord into the chat? The other thing to do, especially if you're online or anyone with a computer here, if in people making their introductions, you want to connect with them, feel free to, have a side conversation here. That conversation is captured as well as the recording, so it's a good way to connect. We'll put a link to the Discord. There's the link to the Discord there. If you don't know Discord, you're lucky because Discord's horrible. but what Discord is it's been around for a while. It's very similar to Slack. So on screen right now, if you've never seen Discord, down the left-hand side, these are the servers. So these are different communities. This one that I've selected with the little, sunburst there is the AI Salon. And then down the left-hand side, these are all the different conversations within the salon. The guild section, there are 5 guilds. There's an art guild, a writers guild, an AI 101 guild if you're just getting started, an entrepreneurs guild, and then an AI for business guild. To join a guild, if you want to join it, there's this little channel called Join a Guild. So you click on that, and this is one of those places where Discord's really horrible. So you see the little icons to the left of the guilds. Your instinct is going to want to be to click on those, but you don't click there. You click on the things down below that match the thing next to the guild name. Why? Because Discord. Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. This is well, it's free, and it's this is sort of started as a gamers thing, and one of the reasons Discord is good, you can run applications within it. So you can run like Midjourney within it and make images. We've got it's not an open API. It's really just a community. So there's all sorts of different discussions. So there's a general discussion. There's news and events. There's an area where you can make generative images using Midjourney. So that's what it is. But to join a guild, you just click on the icon below that matches the guild that you want to join. What that does within the server, it gives you what's called a role. So next to your name, you'll have a role like you're part of the art guild or the writers guild or things like that. That allows the guild leadership to reach out to anyone who's a member of the guild. All right. So that's how to join. And what I would love to do is just go around and have the leaders of the guild, if they're here. Leah's not here, but we may have Allie. I don't know if Allie's on. But we'll have the leaders of the guild just give a quick update on their guild, tell you what the guild's about, and and then you can join it. So Peter Kaminsky, you want to talk about AI 101?
I do. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
As Kyle said, we're kind of still getting the guilds going, and it's a little bit up in the air to see how it's going to work out. But please join the channel, and I think I will be having weekly get-togethers, kind of an open house style for a few weeks at least, to kind of see what people are interested in doing. This week we had 3 people besides myself there, and we did a lot of Midjourney, as it turned out. We got somebody had got on Midjourney but wasn't quite set up and got logged out, and it was hard to use, and like all this computer stuff is. So we got her hooked back up and played around with Midjourney, had a bunch of fun. The idea of AI 101 is to be a place where it's an easy on-ramp to learn what this AI stuff is about. ChatGPT and LLMs and image stuff, both. And I'm also kind of interested in the meta topic of how we teach other people about getting into AI. So that's what AI 101 is about. Thanks.
Great. Oh, hey, Ken, the Discord link expired. Can you go grab a new one? Thanks, Discord. Oh. The art guild is run by Leah, who's normally my co-host here. She's a professional photographer. She's got a real passion for how you sort of find your artistic voice and make images, make art, right? Because there's lots of ways to make images, but she's really interested in how do you express yourself with these images. She's had 2 now weekly meetings on Sundays where the group gets together and she puts together a like a little a session where there's a theme, and then you make images along that theme throughout the thing. So the Art Guild's a lot of fun. Jane, I know you're feeling under the weather. Do you want to talk at all about writing, or do you want me to?
Yeah, no, I'll talk for a bit about the writing. Yes, we had our first meetup this last week, and with the writing, my vision is to kind of talk about the big picture stuff. It's not an AI group that talks about writing; it's a writing group that talks about AI. And one of the subjects we touched on was, creating quality work, and not just being another like content mill with ChatGPT. And for the next week, I haven't really ironed out the exact dates as far as like what day we'll be meeting on. But I'm planning on talking about like steal like an artist, which is something that comes up a lot, like in our discussions, and talking about like what that means. So really it's like the big picture kind of ideas around what writing is and how to be excellent at it.
Awesome. Let's see. Ken, you want to talk about AI for business?
Yeah, let me know if that Discord link doesn't work, by the way. And everyone, I'm Ken. I am running AI for Business Guild. And basically what our guild is about, it is really how AI is affecting the workforce and how we individually use AI to improve our efficiency, how businesses are integrating AI into their business. Companies are doing that into their business. And not just that, but we really want to keep up with how AI is being used in business in general. So if you want to learn about tools, AI tools, if you want to learn about how to become more efficient with them, we would love to have you join our guild. Right now, we are kind of having a discussion in the guild about what kind of cadence we want for the guild meetings. So I would urge you to come and join the conversation. Do you want to have a meeting every week, every other week, or once a month? I imagine a lot of us are quite busy, and so I'd like to kind of get your input before I kind of make a final decision on what those meeting cadences will look like. Come join the conversation if you want to learn about AI in business.
Yep. And just quickly, I just realized you don't have to be a member of a guild to join the guild, join the conversation in the guilds. That's really just sort of a badge that you can give yourself that lets the guild members, know that you're a part of that group. But you can lurk in any of them. So Bradley, you want to talk about the entrepreneurship?
Yeah, we'll be changing the name to Brad's Posse.
I think it's Posse.
Posse.
Yeah.
But no, so the AI Entrepreneurship Guild is really looking at business models and startups in this new AI world, how to be leaner, how to build your processes around AI, and it'll look at business structure from kind of an AI viewpoint. So some of the things that we'll talk about are looking at some market shifts, changing user behaviors or customer behaviors, the teams and resources that are needed to start up an AI type business or an AI backed business. It doesn't have to provide AI assets, but it can be to help with efficiencies in a business model that would traditionally need some side work from other people that AI might be able to help facilitate. So also be looking at future forecasting and AI business opportunities. We did have our first meetup last week on Tuesday, which we will not be having on Tuesdays again. We'll be having on Thursdays. So check the Discord and you'll see some invite there. But the first meeting that we had, we talked about AI stacking, which was really just looking at a solution in more micro steps and actions, which are a little bit easier to break down a problem into smaller steps that end up being a workflow or a quote unquote job to be done. And by looking at it that way, it kind of allows it to be done in a easier or faster way by having each AI tool just have one job. and then hand off to the next AI tool. So that was our first chat last week. If you'd like to chat about it, and you weren't able to make the meeting last week, feel free to reach out and we can chat about that. So,
yep, great, terrific. So we're just getting these off the ground. We haven't had them before, so we're figuring it out. In moving into the future, we're going to be slowly rolling out some other ones. Some ones we've got identified right now is a nonprofit guild for AI for impact. Pate, who is someone that works at Google on the TPU optimization team, I think, something crazy. He wants to start a math and science of AI guild. So if you want to geek out, we're going to have the ability to do that. We'll likely do a video or video and animation guild. We'll probably do a music, voice, and audio guild. If there's other guilds that you think should be there that are missing, let us know. We as organizers are going to try to make sure that they're not overlapping, that these are really clear communities, because we really want these to be places where if you're interested in a particular topic, you can kind of dive in and find your people. And so that's it with guilds. So hop in the Discord, jump in the conversation, whether you join or not. It looks like we might have a question.
Yeah, hi. My question is, could we possibly have a guild of people that are interested in discussing how it is this AI stuff is working? Because I think that really is a key thing that everybody really needs to understand. And it's such a mystery. And if people could get together and discuss what they've learned, because I learned a lot of stuff digging into the academic papers and watching, different videos and attending meetups. And I'd love to share what I know about how it works. And I would love to hear about others and get their insights too. So, and everybody else could use that information. And once we get that, we can sort of share it across everybody, because if they understand it better, how it works and why, then they'll have less struggles in figuring out how to get it to do what they want it to do.
Yeah, it's love that, RJ. And I think that there's actually two places for that. I think the AI 101 guild, if you want to do it at a high level, is going to be a guild where you can share that kind of stuff. So I'd say jump in there and coordinate with Peter. And then I think the math and science of AI guild, if you want to talk about the stuff more technically, that would be a good venue there. So I think with different audiences, there's different definitions of understanding how it works, right? So, but I think it's a really good point. I think there's two venues for that. So awesome. Thank you. Okay. So the next thing is this. If you like the salon, if you want to support the salon, we're looking for volunteers. So we're looking for organizers in two primary areas. One is just broadly what I will call people wranglers. So one of them is someone just to organize the volunteers. So all the people that volunteer, the guild leaders, things like that, basically just keep track of the spreadsheet, make sure people are communicated with, everyone has what they need. And a volunteer manager, or the speaker scout manager, is a bit bigger of a role. That's basically figuring out who would be good speakers to come to the salon and speak. But also, now that we have guilds, it might be coordinating with the guild leaders to say, hey, is there anything you're working on in the guilds where it might be good to have them come speak. So we're looking for those. And then basically social media managers, anyone who's got experience with social media. We need someone to manage LinkedIn, someone to manage YouTube, Twitter, Discord, and the Meetup. Right now, we have a band of organizers who are kind of loosely assigned to whatever they can get their hands on. And we'd like to sort of lock that down a bit. So if you're interested in volunteering for that, email Ken Rouse at Hotmail. And yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so I want to quickly go through some new and exciting news. So 11 Labs, by the way, that image to the right there, I love that image. That was like a happy accident that happened in DALL-E, which I'll be demoing here in a second, but I just love that image. 69 GTO Judge, baby. It's the best. Okay. 11 Labs, I think today or yesterday, launched voice translation. So just like there's that Hey Gen that does voice translation, 11 Labs now does it. So when you log into 11 Labs, you basically just upload your English, pick a language, and it automatically translates it into other languages, synthesizing your voice. It's really quite remarkable. I don't think it does lip syncing right now where HeyGen does, but a lot of people are using 11 Labs. It's got API access, so something interesting there. ChatGPT V, which is ChatGPT Vision, and conversational ChatGPT in the ChatGPT app are apparently going to be launching today. GPT-4 has been incredibly slow today because I think they've been rolling things out. I think they've been taking down banks of servers and whatever. I don't know how they do what they do, but it was really slow today. And in the OpenAI Discord, they said that these things are rolling out in an ongoing way. So, log out of ChatGPT, log back in, check your beta features in your settings and see if anything new shows up. It may. Like I said, I think DALL-E is rolling out to everyone in the app. I don't know if it's rolling out on the website, but we'll see. Today, Adobe launched generative text to vector within Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to demo that. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Sweet. It's really sweet. It's really sweet. I don't know if you knew that was sweet. Meet my passe.
You got to be really careful to make sure that the O is an O.
Yeah, you really do. Okay, so what you do here, the interface for this is not good. It's not clear, but okay, it took me an hour to figure out how to download this. So if you've got Adobe Creative Cloud, go to your Creative Cloud interface, and then go to updates. And in updates, it will say your Illustrator is up to date, and then you can force it to update. There's in the upper right hand corner, it's like update now. Click that button, and it will reload. And this is Illustrator 2024. So it's not in Illustrator 2023, and it's not in the beta. So it's only in Illustrator 2024. But so what you do is you draw a rectangle. So there we've got our rectangle, and you're like, okay, now what do I do with that? What you do with that is you go click on your pointer icon, and when you do that, then you get the contextual menu just like in Photoshop. And you have generative fill, or you have generative create, and so I can put in here icon of a garden gnome. Gnome. And hit return, and now it's going to go make that. And if you're new to graphics, so all of the image generation tools to this point are pixel based. So if you blow them up really big, they get all janky and pixely. Illustrator is vectors, so these are lines, so I can kind of infinitely scale in, and it'll always look nice, right? And then there are 3 of them that it produces per generation, and it's pretty slick. Right now, here's something I discovered today. I've played with this for a total of 15 minutes, but so now I'm going to do a bit more of a complicated, what's it called? Prompt. So I'm going to do a vintage, what do I say? Vending machine. Vending machine.
Get it perfect.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and so it's going to generate that.
CJS.
Okay.
Be a good one, though.
Yep. All right, so let me zoom in on this. So notice how crappy this is. It's vintage. It's vintage vectors.
It's rusting.
It's rusting. So here's what my take on this is because it's really complicated. I think what Adobe's likely doing here is they're generating like a relatively low resolution bitmap, and then they're just doing their sort of quick trace on top of it. So if you're doing something more iconic, like like a gnome like that as an icon, it probably does it better than if you do something more detailed. Now, this is 1 day old, right? So this is brand new technology. So like all this stuff, it's a little rough around the edges, but the fact that you can do full-on vectorized artwork from a prompt now within Illustrators, just again, like to your point, just this stuff's coming. CJ, you had your hand up, I know.
Yeah, real quick. Did you say that was based off of Firefly's model?
I honestly don't know. I assume. Yeah, but Firefly was trained on this one, huh? Oh, only on the vectors. Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't know, CJ. But I do know that Adobe is not doing any training on copywritten stuff. So I think if you work in a corporation, using the Adobe generative stuff is probably the safest bet.
Danke schön.
Double click what?
Double click. Mind if I take over just real quick?
Go.
It's possible you just get a fixed budget of a certain number of vectors, a certain number of details by default. And so if the thing you ask for takes more than that, it ends up looking crappy.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Layers a little bit.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So it does layer. And
Oh,
then
but wait, but
you can change the color of that.
Here, wait,
thing.
wait,
So you
we
can.
can-
It's layered. I was demonstrating that as layered.
Wait, but I can put. Let me put dog nose. Dog nose. See if it makes a dog nose on the.
Yeah. So it layers it. So all those files are layered, so you can pull them apart and change the colors, and you can brand it. So you can put in a specific hex code to make it wearing a brand hat or whatever. So, yeah. It's a full-on dog.
All right.
Infinite zoom.
Yeah, infinite zoom, right? So okay. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Put it back on the note. So that's a big deal. Now, the next thing I want to show is I got early access to DALL-E 3 within ChatGPT. This is a bigger deal than I thought it would be. There is. Do you have access to it? It's amazing, isn't it? It's okay. So how it shows up. And by the way, if you're new to the ChatGPT stuff, I strongly recommend at this point paying the $20 for ChatGPT Plus. There are so many new features in it. I just think it's worth it. And right now, there's just nothing close to it. Google Gemini might be, but right now not. If you pay for the things, you get access. If you haven't seen it, they brought back Browse with Bing this past week, so it's connected to the internet. What's that? Oh yeah. And then here's DALL-E 3. So DALL-E 3 is basically just another mode, kind of like plugins. And then I'm going to try to do this live. If not, I'll just go show you some other things that I did. But here's why I think this is a big deal. So rather than thinking about, okay, how do I prompt an image? You can do something like this. Wait for it. I run a group called the AI Salon that is a bunch of AI adventurers, and I'd like to come up with an image that represents that sense of adventure in generative AI and the future of work, period, which leads into what we'll talk about in a bit. Oh, wait. Stop. Dang it. Here. I'd like you to come up with 5 concepts that can represent this group. And before you make any images, just describe the concepts and I'll pick the best one. So this is image generation in the context of a conversation, right? So what my experience has been with this is that it's kind of like just being a creative director and you're working with an art director and you're just kind of having this back and forth banter. So it's not painfully slow right now. We'll let it go. So AI Expedition, that's not bad. Futuristic AI workspace. So it's coming up with the concept. It's doing what GPT-4 is good at, right? The other thing that I did a version of this where I took the description of the AI Salon and our values, and I pasted them into ChatGPT, and I said, hey, these are our values, and I want to visualize those. And the images that I showed when Bradley was reading the values, that was how those were done. Okay. All right, number 2, the futuristic AI workforce. Okay, so what we're going to do. Okay, I like number 2. Can you give me 4 images that are stylistically different that brings that concept to life? And so it basically fires off a plugin, right? So just like when you're playing with plugins, there's your plugin, and now it starts writing its own prompts, right? So the whole idea of having to learn like mid-journey commands and understand all the different categories. It's like auto ChatGPT, right? This is the hints of an autonomous agent where what this points to for me is a future where these tools are like, our job is to give it our intent, but like, what are you trying to do? And it's going to do a lot of the work for us, right? Yeah. All right. So this hasn't crashed. This was crashing all day today. So I was like, I can't demo this. I want to demo this.
So that whole giant thing is the prompt?
Well, it's 4 prompts.
Oh.
There you go. So yeah, the prompt's over here to the right, so I can still copy the prompt. It's very early, it's very alpha right now, so you can't like modify the prompt. I can't do any in painting or out painting here, but the images just tend to be really good. And I noticed, so now I can go back and I can go, oh, bad creative director, I forgot to ask for something. Hey, could you add the AI Salon words onto those images? And I'll throw those in quotes and make this a cap S. And so you can just kind of have this back and forth conversation with it now, and it'll just keep updating the images. Where it's a drag right now is you can't really go in and edit an image. You can't, you don't really have much control over it, but you can do landscape, you can do portrait, you can do really tall and skinny. It does text well. I'm going to show you one other thing, and then we'll move on to our guest speaker tonight. It'll be good. I mean, they're well written prompts because they're just kind of generic. They're not kind of tool specific at this point. They're not using any specific commands. All right, just let this do its thing. See if we get. It doesn't spell well, but the fact that it spells it all is quite remarkable. I'm not going to demo it, but one of the things that you can also do is, so there's AI Salon now incorporated into those images, right? So just like the speed with which you can go from, I gave it like a really crappy prompt about, I just have this group and I want ideas, to having those ideas, to having it visualized, to having something that I could hand, like I could hand this to an art director and say, go do the real version of this. Or I could say, hey, that's good enough. I'm going to throw that in PowerPoint. Yeah, I don't know the resolution, but what's that? Is it? Yeah. So I don't know the exact one, but if you do horizontal,
The saloon for the posse.
Oh, where's the saloon? Oh yeah, there you go, the AI saloon. The posse, meet you at the saloon. The other thing that I'll say about DALL-E 3, if you're all like, oh, Kyle's got access in ChatGPT and I don't. If you go to Bing.com, Bing.com is now DALL-E 3. That's the engine sitting underneath it. So go to Bing.com/create, and that is DALL-E 3. So all of this is available there. It doesn't have it in the context of this conversation like this. So anyway, the other thing to try is give it 25 specific objects to put in the image and watch what it does. It will put 25 specific objects in the image. It's quite remarkable. So, okay, final thing. Yeah, question.
And I mean, I didn't prompt it or anything. I just put a paragraph and said, "Set, make me a picture."
Yep.
So these are the ones that I made. Some of the ones that I made today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite brilliant. I don't know if anyone heard you, but just basically just go to bing.com/create and start playing. Put in more complicated prompts. Huh? I think they opened Bing up to Chrome now. I don't think you need Edge anymore. Just go there, put in more complicated prompts than you think you need, and it's surprising. That was how I got that the image to the right there. So I'm going to turn it over to Brad to talk about Patreon. Just made a really interesting announcement 2 days ago or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, something like that, and about how they're making a big shift in their platform, and it ties in a lot to what Brad presented to the salon, I don't know, 2 months ago now, about kind of the future of work. So why don't you talk about that and then kind of set up Herod, and then we'll turn it over to Herod to tell his story.
Okay. Yeah, so this one's not particularly tied to AI, but what I like to kind of see is where AI is going, but also where behavior trends are going, as far as like content digestion and everything like that. And where are you at?
I'm just putting you up there.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have kept the. Yeah, okay. So Patreon is shifting from a membership platform, or at least for what it was known for as a membership platform. And it's allowing for creators to kind of have their own communities onside their platform, so they can start posting their videos and they can start creating assets for members. So it's really a unique shift in. Right now there's YouTube, which a lot of content creators are going to kind of recording themselves and interacting, or not really interacting with their audience, but they are kind of gaining subscribers through that. But Google is making all the money off the advertisement off that. Then you have Twitch, which is a streaming platform right now known for gamers, where they can kind of post and record them playing games. And what you see there is that they advertise that they have a Patreon account, and to go and they donate, $5 or do a monthly subscription. What Patreon is doing is starting to bring a lot of the content and housing it on their platform, so that you can have an end all be all platform where you can deliver assets to your members and charge $5, $10, $15. So it's like blending in Fiverr, also blending in YouTube. And it allows the creators to have a little bit more ownership over the advertising dollars, as well as the membership fees. And there are some on there right now that have 10,000 members, and they charge $5 a month for their content and to deliver assets and everything like that. So it's a big shift.
Community tools as well.
Yes, so there's community tools where the community can interact with each other. You can interact with them. You can schedule private one-on-one sessions with them. So again, it's not just about AI, but it's also about how user behaviors and blending AI with that, where AI creators like CJ, it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, CJ could, start recording some of what he's doing, building prompts for some of his arts, and then have a community that, he can share that art with and kind of gain subscribers with. So it's just kind of for that entrepreneur that's wanting to kind of start up and getting to AI, it's a platform that could be helpful. So.
Yep. And then do you want to tell the story of your dad? You had mentioned about your dad. And
yeah,
set up the story for Herod.
Yeah, so we have a speaker tonight, Herod, which he'll introduce himself way better than I would be able to introduce him. But what I wanted to do is tell a story to kind of help us kind of reframe how we think about some of these presentations. But so some of you might know, as I've mentioned before, my dad is a pastor. While I was in high school, he took a sabbatical for a brief period of time because he needed to kind of recharge his batteries and spend time with the family. And so he started looking for corporate jobs, and he had an interview with a company called Staples, which you might have heard of. The job was for an outside sales position, and it was near the final interviews, and they invited the VP to come in and sit in on the interview. And the VP started taking over, and he started asking my dad, he's like, hey, you have a degree in Bible, and your entire career has been a pastor. What makes you think you can be a salesperson? And my dad looked at him and said, I've been selling people things they can't see for years. Give me a physical product and I'll sell it. And he got the job on the spot, obviously. But the reason for that story is people need to stop thinking about their jobs as a title or an asset that they create. Start thinking about what you do as a collection of experiences that you have and ways that you can bring that to other people. So as we are shifting our careers and career paths, we're hearing a lot of people doing this. And if we get out of thinking of ourselves as our titles and an asset that we create, it expands what we can possibly do. And so I want to hand things over to Herod to introduce himself and tell his story. That would be, in my feeling, kind of very similar to this, but hopefully we all can listen to this with maybe with different ears. So great, thank you.
Herod, take it away. I'm excited to hear your journey and tell us a little bit about your invention and reinvention of yourself.
All right, sound good. So I will start with just a couple of words here. Don't worry, we'll get to the fun in the picture soon. I just want to set things up with a little background. As we were talking about here, the main gist of the story is I was able to basically reinvent my entire career from being a professional programmer to being a full-time artist in about 6 months with the use of AI tools, which would have never been possible before. But just to give you a little context here, this actually is not my first rodeo. I started out playing in metal bands and, recording music and, just being completely enthralled with music and everything that came with it. I thought that was going to be what I did for the rest of my life, period. No chance. I was just going to play music forever. And one day I just decided to start learning Java in my free time, started building a game to play with one of my buddies. And when I decided to make it public, it just started flooding with people. And I didn't really have any clue what I was doing, but somehow I turned that into a small business and actually started making more money off of that than I made at my job. So I was like, here, what am I doing? I'm kind of wasting my time here. I could be, if I actually knew what I was doing with this type of stuff, the sky's the limit. So at that moment, I immediately applied and was accepted to a university. I started to study computer science and basically changed the direction of my entire life. But, that led to getting my BS in computer science, did a quick 2-year bid on Wall Street, realized I can't stand finance, moved across the country to get back into tech. So that was the last 8 years of my life, pretty much just doing programming exclusively. And then we all have this moment where ChatGPT was released, and as a developer at the time, LLMs were really helpful in being a programmer. I had become the best programmer that I ever was before with access to these LLMs, but something different happened the first day that I tried Midjourney, and it was kind of one of those moments again where everything shifted for me. I was the best programmer that I had ever been before, but I found myself just creating art with 100% of my free time. And I felt like coding had almost become a chore that would get in the way of me doing art. So, from that moment on, I just kind of made a plan to myself that all I want to do is create art. And the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is if I start to turn a profit from it so that I can do it all the time. I've been teaching myself digital art, graphic design, all this kind of stuff for about 4 years before AI art tools were released. But I hadn't reached a level where it would be worth anything to me or anybody else. But that kind of all changed when generative AI tools were released. My ability to create and, professional quality artwork just went through the roof. And I knew that now was the time that I could capitalize on that and try to turn it into something. So here, I will show you an example. This is the type of stuff that I used to make before AI art. You can tell, I have an influence from my music playing days. And then this picture is an image that I made. Oh, here we go. An image that I made the first day that I got access to Midjourney. So, that was actually kind of upsetting for a moment because I was like, man, I spent 4 years learning how to do all this stuff. And now with one sentence that I typed into Discord, I made a better looking piece of art than I could have managed otherwise. But, you know, a lot of people get upset over that. And, you know, there's merit to it. But I got over it pretty darn quick and, you know, started to hone in on my tools. And, you know, I obviously have an affinity for making logos. So that's kind of what I did. And I started doing it all the time. And once I got better at it, I started to sell them. This was the first logo that I sold to a record label. They bought a pack of 2, and I couldn't believe it that you know, now my Midjourney subscription was paid for by, you know, the people that I'm making the art for with it. And that kind of started the journey of, you know, how can I do more of this? How can I, you know, get into this world and kind of make this something that's really more substantial? So from there, I started to make art pieces that I could put up online. So I'd make something like this and put it up on a website for licensing, or if somebody wants to make it an album cover. You know, I just started making pieces like these that I could try to collect some attention online. I fell in love with Redbubble, which is a site mainly for putting stickers on. So this is one of Wednesday Adams I made. Started filling up my Redbubble with stickers. And that was around the time that I found animation. Whoop! I don't know, that would start immediately. But I realized that with this technology, if you just make a lot of pictures all in a row, you could actually make animations out of it. So that's what I kind of started doing with most of my free time. I hope this isn't too loud and that you guys can actually hear the audio. But here, I'll play this for you guys.
No audio.
No audio? Okay, well, you can see what I'm talking about then.
Yep.
Just imagine there's really cool music playing.
It's gorgeous.
So that kind of started up another, you know, facet of my AI adventure. I started, you know, that's how I met Kyle. I made a TikTok channel where I started posting my animations and ran into him one day on a live stream. I post these on Reddit and things like that. And it's led to lots of commissions, people wanting me to make music videos for them and all this type of stuff. And ultimately posting all these places, I connected with a job opportunity where I was able to leave my programming job and make art a full-time deal for myself. So now it is my job, it's my hobby, it's my side hustle, it's kind of everything to me. So I just wanted to share this story as, you know, it's something that's very possible for everybody to achieve. You know, you can see my first transition that I made, I had to go get a 4-year degree to, excuse me, to be able to do that. And now I had no training in art, no experience in art, just a couple years of, you know, messing around online. And in 6 months, I was able to make an entire career out of it. So these things are possible. They're within your reach. And, you know, I just wanted to specify, I don't exactly agree with, you know, looking at these LLMs or the AI generative art tools and saying, you know, where can I make money out? How can I make money out of this? You don't want to look for the money. You want to look for your interest. I found, you know, this art to be a very fun thing to do. The animation also is just, you know, a crazy good time for me. And it's what I love to do with my time. And that's what allowed me to really get into it and hone my skills because I was so willing to do it so much. And that is where the money will come from, where your interest lies. But it is, it's definitely possible. And, you know, if I can do it, any of you can too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Herod. Really good. First of all, yeah, lots of applause. If you're online, if you have questions for Herod, just raise your hand. Ken will call on you. If anyone here in Denver does, let's just coordinate with the microphones if you want to ask a question. One question I have for you is, and this was something that Bradley and I were talking about earlier was, what were the skills that allowed you to be a good programmer that you feel transferred over to being an AI artist? And when you and I were talking earlier, Herod, you were talking about, people that are good at art may not be good at AI art. So I'm just curious, what you felt transferred, to the new way of working, what didn't transfer? Like, can you just talk about the transition and what did you sort of deconstruct of what you knew before to do this the new thing and turn it into a second or third career?
Sure. So, I mean, it might be kind of surprising, but not very much. It's kind of the same with people who are traditionally trained artists. You'd think they would come into generative AI art tools and just, knock it out of the park because they're so heavily trained in art and all the things that go into it. But as I've experienced, that's really not the case. That's not what I see, in the field. So it was kind of like that with myself, with all of my previous skills with programming and all this kind of stuff. The AI altogether, not just the art tools, but just AI tools in general, is a new thing. And there's not a whole lot that transfers over one-to-one. And I actually think that's a good thing, because you know that everybody's kind of starting on the same point. So nobody's like already super far ahead of you, even if they have, an art degree, they might not be better at generative AI than you are. So I feel like it's really a whole new thing. These skills really didn't exist before, like how to prompt an AI tool. There was no training for that before. There's no guide, to how to do it. So everybody's kind of just figuring these things out in real time.
Great. Awesome.
Okay, looks like first question is from Roger Scott.
Okay, well, I think Kyle already kind of started us down the philosophical road, so I'm gonna double down on that and ask. So the day you first started doing this stuff and were really impressed with the results, you were pretty much the same person as you were the day before when you were doing it without these tools and not happy with the results. So you didn't change. What do you feel? So how do you sort of explain why you're so much more satisfied with the output of these tools than you were with what you could do without them? What are the tools adding? And if they're adding a lot, then do you still feel like you have a strong sort of investment and ownership in the results, or are you really just sort of standing back and letting the tool do the work?
Sure. Oh, that's a big question. So
I always ask a big question.
I would say that, coming into it, I did have a background of a couple of years of trying to teach myself art because I love to do it. I had so much fun doing it. I wanted to do it my whole life, but my problem was I couldn't draw. I could never draw with my hands, with paint, with colored pencils, crayons, anything, despite, trying over and over and over again, trying to learn how to draw. Years would go by and I would just not get any better at it. And it was very frustrating because I always wanted to do art. And then when I found digital art, I was like, hey, this is my ticket around, being so crappy at drawing. I can actually make things that look good if I do it on my computer. And I figured out a way to do that. That kind of happened again when AI art tools came out. It gave me the ability to express my creativity and the things that were in my head that I couldn't, make into reality with the skills that I had. It kind of just opened those doors and just increased my ability to create all the things that I had wanted to do before. I now, had access to being able to do it. So that's kind of the shift that happened in that moment. I just had so much more potential to create the things that I always wanted to with the skills that I had now.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for the question, Roger. Sherry Banks, you're up next. Sherry, are you there?
You're muted.
Well, there goes that long speech. Hey guys, it's Sherry. Anyways, Harold, excellent work. You've inspired me ever since you popped into the chat. We've talked a little bit in the Discord. I do have a question, a couple of them. Other than Redbubble and Reddit, where have you gone? I know that people are coming to you, and are you talking that, hey, this is AI? Are you willing to share that with us? Because they're, as a, extrovert but introvert, very inspiring stuff that you're doing. So I would love to know what you got. You tell us a little bit
Thank you
more.
so much for the kind words. I really appreciate that. But really, when I made this decision to, I'm going to start turning this into a career, I need to make money off of this somehow so I can do it all the time. I kind of just went every direction that I could figure out to go all at once. So there was ArtGrab, there's Imprint, there's Redbubble, there's Reddit, there's Discord, there's Fiverr. There is one that I can't think of that's like Fiverr. What is that platform called? Well,
Upwork.
Upwork. That's it. Thank you. So platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, you can either sell your ability to make art on there, or you can find people who are looking for artists and apply for their jobs. There's many, many different ways to get out there. Social media is also a big one. I've been doing TikTok, but most of my friends who do art are all about Instagram. So that's a huge place to market yourself. You just pretty much want to find your niche, find what you enjoy doing, a platform that you enjoy interacting with, and just start getting your art out there, and you'll start to get that response.
Are you telling them that you have AI, or are you just keeping that?
Oh,
Because
no,
then-
absolutely. I would never try to disguise the fact that I'm using AI art tools. That is always, always, always out in front. That's an understood, part of the deal. In every transaction that I do, it's always very straightforward. I would never try to disguise the fact that there was AI art tools used in the creation of these.
Thanks again. Are you open to writing a list of all those places for us all in the Discord so we could refer to them?
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
No problem. Thanks for the question.
All right, thanks, Sherry. Daniel Ritchie, you're up next.
Hey, Herod. I really love the story that you've got. It's very cool to see how you took, every piece of your background and brought it together and made something amazing happen, and in such a short amount of time. I mean, I love to hear these success stories, especially when you're doing something you're so happy with. I was going to ask about your Discord handle, but I figured that out. I had streamer mode on, so it truncated names for some reason. But I will just say, the idea about technology being able to kind of produce what's in our mind's eye, it's like, it made me think about like when I was 12 years old and I tried to draw a turtle, and like I knew what the turtle was supposed to look like, but the thing that I drew was terrible,
Was that turtle like?
I don't know that anybody would even know that.
Kyle and I made some pretty cool turtles last night. We made a whole turtle business.
Exactly.
And I think that's like why this is awesome, right? Is because it allows us to kind of visualize things in ways that our own skills limit us, right? So I think I heard some of that, but I really appreciate it anyways. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. That's probably been the biggest factor of this is, these tools just increase your ability to create. So you can express yourself, be as creative as you want, and do things that you never thought you would be capable of doing before. I never thought I would have the ability to create art like this or to create animations. That was not ever part of my game plan. So just having the ability to do any of this kind of stuff is really a dream come true.
Do you think this changes the nature of creativity? Like, are we gonna just like, is art gonna become like the idea of being a creative and making art? I mean, you feel like you're doing that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, especially with my animations, some people think, oh, do you just like type in a sentence and click create and it generates an animation? Or no, I create every single individual frame, what is happening with the perspective in that frame, what's happening with the content in that frame, the strength of the switch from the image of the last frame. It's very nitty gritty down to, you control every single part of the animation that you're looking at. So it's not like you're kind of losing control or lending the creativity to the AI art tool. It really is, just an extension of your ability to, release what's in your mind and create, the art that you are trying to create. I do think, however, that there will be a shift in the art world, in the creativity world. But what that is, it's really tough to say at this point. But it's hard to believe that things won't change with these tools on the table.
Yeah. I didn't either.
All right, thanks for that question.
Ken, before you move on to I think RJ, there's a question from Mark Johnson in the Q&A in Google Meet, which I didn't even know existed. So thanks for helping me discover a new tool. So Herod, the question from Mark is, how do you deal with the limited resolution of AI art tools?
Upscaling.
Yeah, okay. What tool do you use? Do you use Stable Diffusion or Topaz Labs? What's your tool of choice?
Yeah, I've been using Stable Diffusion with the upscalers that work with that. There's tons of them out there. There's even websites that you can use that will upscale your artwork for free. There's tons of tools out there to be able to just upscale your art to that resolution and quality you're looking for.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know about that feature either, so I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. Looks like RJ, you're up next.
Yes, thanks. I was wondering, Harold, if you're, so far you said you're focusing like on the sort of like the technical aspects of what you're creating and doing like a lot of bespoke kind of stuff or stuff that's in your head, onesie, twosie kinds of things. I was wondering if you were maybe also focusing on training the models to do your look, or your theme or in some way so that you could have like an ongoing kind of composition or set of things that you're making that all follow along the same kind of trained theme that somehow you train the model to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. I personally haven't done much training of my own models, but I had figured out, quite a while ago that if I use my own art that I had made through traditional means before AI came out, and use that with like something like an image-to-image model so that I can make art out of my own art, that is kind of where, my ability kind of exploded in making, like these types of pieces. This kind of stuff was always starting with art that I had made before, and I would basically just use AI to create with my own style, which was a pretty mind-blowing thing to accept at the time. But what you're talking about is pretty much an extension of that. You can use your own art to train a model on it that will be, basically able to create in your style, anything that you want. So that's been an interest to me. I do think I will do it at some point. But yeah, using your own stuff to create new things with these AI art tools is probably one of my favorite things to do.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for the question.
All right, and then I guess I'm up next. And my question is kind of at the very beginning of your journey in the business side of things. You said that you had sold a kind of like an art double pack to somebody, to one of your bands, or I can't quite remember the wording, but I'm just kind of curious, did they approach you for the art, or did you solicit your art to them? And then I'm wondering where you went from there. I know you mentioned some platforms like Redbubble and Upwork and Fiverr that you went to, but I'm kind of curious about the approach you took. You uploaded artwork to these platforms, and then did you wait for people to come to you? Did you solicit yourself for the sales? And did you quit your daytime job in the meantime before you found the success? And I'm just kind of curious to hear a bit more about the business side.
Sure. And that's actually a great question. Something I wish I would have brought up before. But there's quite a difference in trying to sell these things online and doing it in person. And the logos that I sold were done in person, and it's a whole different world when you're speaking to people in person about these things. When you're online and you're kind of in these circles, you feel like everybody knows about them and everybody has access to them and everyone's proficient in them. But then when you go outside and interact with people in the real world, that's not the case. You can have like a great ability that not a lot of people know of or understand really well, and leveraging that in person is a wonderful thing to do, as opposed to just trying to shove it everywhere online that you can. When you show a person, here's my artwork, here's my portfolio in person, I've gotten the same reaction all the time. It's shock. People are blown away by these things that you can make with AI art tools. And that is an approach that I would really highly suggest if you're trying to break into monetizing your work. I had known this person from a record label that was local to me, and I had just mentioned, hey, I'm doing artwork now. If you ever need something, let me know. And I just showed him a couple of logos that I'd made before, and he actually ended up buying one like that day. So if you can get to real people and show them this in person, the quality that you're capable of, the output that you can create, people are very interested in it from my experience. So don't forget about the real world side of things. If you can get out there, get to even art shows and things like that, that is a huge avenue to moving forward with some type of career in this field. The last question you had, no, I did obtain my my art job before I quit my programming job. Just wanted to make sure I could feed my dog.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for answering that. Brad, you're up next.
Yeah, so I wanted to kind of see if you had any advice for the group, or if you could walk us through your, I guess, discovery of new things. I know some people don't really know where to start as far as, if you're learning, how to make an animation and learning about frame rates and learning about some of the insider knowledge. What are some resources that you feel, the group might benefit from, of learning based on how you learn something brand new? Like, what is your discovery of something you don't necessarily know about? And what's that process? And what are some resources that you've found along the way that have helped you learn new things, and then apply, being able to apply it to your AI artwork?
Sure. So, as I said in my little speech there, I had started with Midjourney. That was really the first foray I had into the art world. But where you kind of go from there, there's pretty much like a pipeline that most people follow from there. You kind of learn how to prompt and learn the how far you can push Midjourney in different directions and what you can kind of get out of it. But Midjourney is very limiting. Since you have to use their model through their platform, they restrict a lot of things. They don't allow certain things. They don't have a lot of tools that you can use with their software. It becomes very limiting the more and more you get into it. So after that, the door kind of opens to Stable Diffusion. And Stable Diffusion is a model that you can run locally on your computer. So that means that you just have unfettered access to everything that it's capable of. There's nobody peeking over your shoulder telling you can't do this or that. That kind of opens the door to everything else that is involved with AI art. So if you're finding yourself at that point, I would highly suggest looking into Automatic 1111, which is a UI, just a user interface that you can use Stable Diffusion with. It looks like this. You just type your prompt in here. You can move all these bars and knobs all over the place to, set the resolution and, different aspects of the image itself. And a big old generate button right here. It works very similarly to Midjourney, but you can see you start to have a lot more control over the images that you create. So Automatic 1111 opens up a lot more of the doors for you. The animation that I showed you was created with Deforum, and Deforum actually has an extension for Automatic 1111. So I actually also use this platform to create my animations as well. So there's really, the sky's the limit with Automatic 1111. I would suggest if you're interested in AI art, this is the feature list of Automatic 1111, and that's just the base program without any extensions in it. So this is really where you want to go, and that's kind of what opened the door for me to really get into what AI art is capable of.
Yeah, Automatic 1111 is definitely the deep geek dive. If you don't want to dive as deep into that, there's a website called Leonardo.ai that's a web front end to Stable Diffusion that's got some of the nice features. If you really want to geek out, that's what Herod's talking about. But Leonardo.ai is maybe a nice stepping stone to the geek.
Oh, also Civit AI is another web platform that you can create on as well.
CIVIT, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So quick
And
follow-up.
if you need a guide on how to install Automatic 1111, one of the very first AI salons on YouTube, Kyle does a walkthrough on that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I would suggest checking it out. RJ, you have a question?
Yes, thank you. It's amazing, Howard, that you're talking about all this stuff, because I'm in another meetup group, and another really advanced person in our group sort of is doing a similar approach to you. And I'm wondering maybe if you have some more advanced insights, because what he does is he uses Stable Diffusion because of reasons like you said. You can run it locally, and what he finds is to get the images that he wants, he's probably using an older version too, slightly, because he wanted the free version. But he basically has it churn out like maybe hundreds and hundreds of images till he finally gets what he wants. And I was wondering if has things progressed, or have you found a way to get around that, where you can get more the image that you want somehow because of your insights and how to control things, the settings and the prompts, or automating it somehow? If any insights on that would be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, the number one thing, and this is why I made it a point to bring up, don't look for the money, look for your interest, is practice. There's really no other way about this. It really is a new frontier in so many ways that people are all figuring this out at the same time. So there's helpful tutorials online, there's guides to different things. I actually have a guide to how to create animations with Deforum on the website I just mentioned, Civit AI. So, if you wanted pointers on something specific, by all means, contact me. I can, show you, oh, this is how you can better prompt this tool, or, this is how to get better output out of that tool. But really, the number one thing is just to get in there and start making stuff. You're right, is when I had first started, to get the image that I wanted would sometimes take 100 generations of images. You make so many that, one is bound to be the type of image that you're looking for. But along the way, you kind of learn, how to craft these things and how to produce, how to get actually Automatic 1111 to produce the output that you're looking for. That control really just comes from practice. There's really no other way about it.
Maybe though, now too, they have the reverse engineering of the prompt. So maybe after you make the image, then you can sort of reverse engineer it somehow to figure out what was it about that prompt or the settings that really made the most impact. Because I think they're doing a lot of analysis nowadays like that.
Yeah, one useful tool, I'm surprised they don't have any on here. This is a very important tool that is used for that purpose, the XYZ plot with Automatic 1111, and it'll allow you to make a huge grid of images that you can, alter the seed by one every time. You can change, a LoRa or a checkpoint or something that you're using from image to image. It allows you to show, what's different if you change this little thing or this little thing across, maybe a dozen or 20, 25 images. And you can actually get a very good understanding of what is affecting these images, what different types of settings or properties will do to the output that you get. That's pretty much the best way at this point, I think, of really trying to determine what exactly your settings or your prompts or anything that you're doing is really affecting the images and producing the output that you're getting.
Cool. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Great. Well, Herod, thank you so much. Let's give Herod the obligatory golf clap, the AI Salon golf clap. Very nice.
Thank you, everybody. More than happy to do it.
Yeah, really appreciate your generosity. And I know you're on the Discord, Herod. So, any thoughts that you have, ideas, share them in the guild, share them, just in general conversations, which I know you've been doing, but this was really terrific. So thank you. And you can feel free to stop sharing your screen now if you want.
Okay. And I just want to say, anybody that has questions, I'm on the Discord. I'm reachable. Feel free to reach out at any time. I'd be more than happy to help.
Terrific. That's awesome. What I'd like to do in kind of the last 10 minutes here is, I find Herod's story really inspiring. I feel like we're entering, whether we want it or not, an age of personal reinvention, where I think some people are going to be displaced from jobs, other people, their job's just going to be reinvented underneath them, and other people like Herod are going to discover something and, kind of step into it. So I'm just curious if anyone here in Denver or online is either in the middle of that transformation, is wanting to. Are you willing to share a little bit about it? Just here, flip your mic to your mic, and then I will mute. And Daniel, Richie will come to you in a second.
I've been a designer for the better half of my life, and thought I was doing a phenomenal job and doing my clients' things and getting along with life. And one day I just decided that wasn't what I wanted. And I got the call that said, okay, we have an office that we want you to run. And I came to Denver. And within the last month of me, I knew about AI. I seen it, I played with it, but within the last month, it's just phenomenal what can be done. And how much that I've done over the years is now done in seconds.
Right.
And how fast it's happening, and things that you would have to talk to so many people to get done on a website or on a back end of on a platform now can be done instantly, way faster than you could ever imagine. Things are going to change. It's absolutely going to change.
What's your relationship to, is there a sense of mourning that you don't do it the way you used to? Is there what's your relationship with the new way of doing it?
No, there's not a sense of mourning. There's a sense of awe, wow, this is amazing. Why was this happening before? We made everything so easy, and just learning how to use the tools that are now available. And I say within the last months, because it has been within the last months. The tools that are out there and that are available are just exponential by the days, and it's just doubling every day. It just doubles from the day before. It's just amazing.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Daniel.
This idea of reinvention really resonated. I've been a technologist really my entire life. I had an email address before most people had access to the internet, and throughout my career, I've climbed the ladder technically, and I got very good at what I do. And I just always had this idea that, well, I'll be seasoned and valuable, and I can offer a lot. And just like the last Victoria was saying, you suddenly see things that took you a development of an expertise in your career that is able to be done in seconds. And, I've still got another, decade or two before I have to really start thinking about retirement. And, in just a couple of years, I went from being totally sure that I had built this kind of perfect, set the stage perfectly to coast, through the next few years, and then realizing I don't know if my skills will be relevant in 5 or 10 years.
Wow.
So I'm, and I feel confident that I can change and figure things out. But it really got me thinking, like, well, if here I am, at the tip of the spear for technology, what about, the overwhelming rest of the world who, maybe isn't even close to technology?
Yep.
And, I just heard that less than 1% of the population knows how to write code. Well, how many people can now create applications using natural language processing? Or people who can't paint with a brush are able to, generate art in this way. Herod, we'll see you when you get back. Good luck. So all these new opportunities are opening up, and the experience for me was this transition from, really the fear of being somehow made irrelevant, to recognizing that there's this really new opportunity for all of these other people. And really, there's just an excitement. I find an excitement for what's possible. And, when was the last time in our lifetimes that we had an opportunity to take a step back, realize all of this potential that's available, and reinvent ourselves very intentionally, and just and make a choice to say, what can I do with all of this new technology? How can I leverage it for something amazing?
Right. Well, and very quickly too, right? What Herod did with 4 years of university to become a programmer, and then 6 months of dicking around to become an artist, right? It's like, wow, it's amazing. So, Bradley, what are your thoughts to kind of wrap it up with I don't know, reinvention, work, future of, go.
Great, put on the spot. One, learn how to pronounce words. That'd be the first.
Or
advice.
you will be mocked
Yes.
relentlessly.
Hey, I own it. I'm making a shirt.
Text to voice is coming soon.
Yeah. No, this is a great, speaking, or Herod did a great job speaking, and it's a great time to kind of bring all this together because, a lot of us are the mixture of excited and scared shitless, worrying about what our individual future looks like in this as we get more, friendly competition entering the market for what we've crafted our skills to do. And, it goes back to kind of what I was saying of we're not an asset, we're not a title or a collection of our experiences, and our experiences are ours. They're not everyone else's. Everyone has different ones. So it's how you kind of break down, how you communicate, how you logically formulate a path to a solution. Those are going to be valuable skills as they and those are the translatable things. And so, don't be afraid to jump into a brand new career path. It can be the scared shitless part, but it's also can be exciting and liberating as you kind of venture out into the great unknown. A lot to take away from all this, and I hope all of you feel invigorated with some opportunities to tackle moving forward.
Cool. Awesome. RJ, last question, comment?
Yeah, I would totally agree with all that was said, but I want to point out though that I think there's a lot of us out there who aren't really totally so focused on image or writing or video, and we're just sort of maybe a little bit clueless as to how to tap into that capability for us, because we're not totally focused on image or art or so I think if we can sort of help people figure out how to find ways to use it more in their lives, if they're not just doing image or video or sound or something like that, or writing, that would be helpful.
Yeah, the thing that I'll offer you, RJ, and really for everyone, is don't lead with the tool. Don't lead with, I want to make an image. Don't lead with, I want to make a video. Don't lead with, I want to do writing. Lead with, what is a problem you're trying to solve? Go set the technology off to the side for a second and just say, RJ, in your life, what's something that you do that, you know, you wish you could do better, or you just need to deal with? And then say, okay, which of these tools might I use to be able to do that? That for me has helped a lot, because I find if I lead with the tool, I find the tools very overwhelming, that because they can do everything, I don't know where to start. But if I start with a problem, then I go, I need this tool for that or that tool for that. So
yeah, thanks for that. And that reminds me of that great TikTok that you made on that exact topic, which I really like that. I saved that and I shared that with a lot of people.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Flattery is the best.
That's right. And please go to the AI Learning Lab on TikTok, won't you? Welcome to the AI Salon, the ad for Kyle. Thank you all very much. Really great having you here. Herod, thank you so much for your time and generosity, for sharing your story tonight. Really appreciate you all being here. If you're here in Denver, we're going to go hang out and have drinks at Zeppelin Station just up the road. If you want to do that, join us. If you're not here, I guess we could FaceTime you.
Drunk FaceTiming.
Drunk FaceTiming. All right, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and see you on Discord. Join a guild. Start participating. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Sherry, you had a quick question? Or she might have been saying goodbye. I think she was trying to wave. All right.
I was trying to wave. Sorry.
That's okay. Bye-bye.